my amigos. Yeah. It's a beautiful Friday evening. I played well today, my friends. I shot 2 under from the blues. I played with a couple of buddies. One in particular who I've been playing a few rounds with recently. I put a little bit of cash on the line, and I was shot 1 under in the front, and I believe I was, 1 under in the back also. So what I wanted to talk about today, by the way, how are you guys, my friends? Welcome back to the channel, kids. You guys are looking sharp. Oh yeah. What I wanted to talk about was the Fresno City Amateur that happened recently. I played well on the first day, and I'll leave it at that. You know, I still need to edit some of the content. I am editing it currently right now as I'm doing both of these videos. So I'm chopping it up and putting music to it and stuff. I still have to do the voiceover to it. And I'm evaluating as I'm editing. The week prior to me playing, I made a slight change in my swing. Let's actually go back to a month and a half ago. There was a day, a month and a half ago, before Jose and Hector and I went to Cypress Point near the coast, where I was just striping everything right down the middle. The problem is I didn't record what I was doing the 2 or 3 days prior to that day. There was 2 days there where I just couldn't miss a green. The ball was going 100% perfectly straight. It was effortless. The sound was beautiful. Everything was perfect. And I was working on techniques, which you guys know that I do a lot of. And I didn't record in any of it because I thought, man, this is it. I found it. I have it. And I just neglected to record any of it, my drilling on those 3 days. So what ended up happening was I didn't know how to get to that point. I ended up changing the grips on my clubs that day when we went to Cypress Point. This is about a month and a half ago. And it completely threw off my rhythm and tempo. I played like crap. And I couldn't get back to that spot where I was. I didn't know what it was that I was doing wrong. So, you know, for the last 2 years, I've been hooking the ball consistently, and I just didn't know why. Well, the main reason why is because the ball, my club pinches at the top. You can see it's above the shoulder line right here. And then if it goes too far forward behind my back, it ends up pinching, very similar to how a water hose, whenever you pinch it and then you begin to release the pressure on it, it squirts out water. Well, that's kind of what's happening with my swing. That's why I was hooking a lot of shots. Now, I figured out how to get rid of it, but it was just a process, and I had figured it out for a couple of days prior to going to Cypress Point, and I didn't record any of it. And so that was my mistake, especially because this is what I do. I have a camera and I'm constantly recording stuff. So after playing the City Amateur, and I've noticed that after playing every single tournament that I've ever played, whenever I don't do well, I have a huge surge of information and learning the following day, that following week, especially the following day after a tournament. Because I think what happens is you put pressure on your swing, it's under duress, and then you're expecting it to perform well, and then it doesn't, and so you go into a fog. But then the following day you come out of that fog, and then you have a moment of enlightenment. And that's what I'm having. That's what I had the day after the Fresno City Amateur. Every single time that I do good or bad, but especially when I do bad, I have a huge moment of enlightenment, and then I begin to troubleshoot immediately, and then I begin to fix it, whatever the issue is. Sometimes I fix it thoroughly, sometimes not so much. So what you're seeing here is my practice. And I'm noticing that I'm playing pretty well. I'm hitting the ball really well. I had my moment of enlightenment, and I have figured out some issues that are really, I shot 2 under today. And there was a point where I was 3 under. And then there was a group behind us, and they yelled at us, telling us that we were playing slow. But it wasn't that we were playing slow. It was the group behind us directly. There was 3 groups clumped up together, and the third group complained to us, told us that we were playing slow, and really we weren't playing slow. It was just the group behind us directly. They were picking up balls out of the water. They were finding balls out in the field. You know that guy? There's always, that old guy that always kind of putts everything out quickly, and then he quickly goes to the pond and picks up balls out of the pond. There was one of those guys, and so it was holding up the group. And at that moment, I was 3 under. And then I bogeyed the hole that we were on where we got yelled at. And I told the guy, bro, it's not us. We're not doing anything wrong. They waited on us 2 holes out of 16. We were on hole 16 at the time. So here's my session for today. After my round, you can see that my club is traveling a little bit more than it needs to up at the top. But aside from that, I've kind of gone back to opening the face. And I wouldn't call it so much as opening the face. It's more of a flip. I'm going back, I open the face, or I flip the face open, and then I close it on the way down. It's figuring out the rhythm and tempo, and it's just a process. So I don't have too much more to say. I did have some writing here that I would like to express with you guys, if you wouldn't mind. Actually, you know what? I'll save this for the next video, which is coming right up. Oh yeah. I'll include some B-roll of the Fresno City Amateur. Stay tuned, my amigos. I'll be right back.